Once again, sorry everybody, but like Groove Chemist, once you go live, we always get some kind of weird thing happen. Still thinking it's the Frog King, aka the Frog Lord, aka Uncle Jerry's World, might be fucking with us a little bit.
Just to make us sweat.
Like complications.
Jerry just wants to make us sweat. I'm thinking about hitting that Fox and Odin straight out the bottle.
He's trying to hit some bourbon straight out the bottle.
You know, that's one thing I've never done before. I never hit bourbon straight out the bottle. Have you?
No, I will not do it. I can't risk too much going down the gullet.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I think we're waiting for Kent. I haven't checked the chat. Let me get chat up and we'll get to jamming. Once again, our apologies, but the uncontrollable remains to be uncontrollable.
Chrome said, how come yesterday I read the chat, he's like, well, you guys gotta wake up baby Buddha. Speaking of chat, yesterday's chat, I went back and I read all of it, all 4 hours. You guys are animals with your ideas. You're animals. Some of those I was like, I need to take screenshots of them. Groove Chemist had me laughing my ass off.
How about that thumbnail?
How about, and why is Kent grabbing my balls? I have to speak to the editor about that one. He's squeezing mine. If you guys didn't notice, I love yellow and black, and the Brohim loves orange and black. Or orange and purple.
Orange and black, orange and purple. Depends on the purple.
I could do a little bit of blue too. I do like the blue.
Scotty says the thumbnail was perfect. Oh, Scotty, you famous twatty, you. James Dyson in that TEO. I don't know if you saw James Dyson today, Scotty, but wow, James Dyson fucking ripped today. You two guys are like masterminds on the TEO. Masterminds. Hats off to you two. You're phenomenal twats. Doom is here. Let's see, we're waiting for Kent Spong. I hope he didn't go to sleep, but he was up all night with us.
Chances are his ass is asleep, as well as he should be.
And if he is, he is. That old bastard needs to sleep. Don't nobody go private messaging him. He may need his beauty sleep.
The gorilla conversation last night really took off. People really were saying there's no way in hell you can whoop a gorilla's ass. That was the final point that I got from everything. Gorilla wins, man 0.
Oh, the Spongellis is here. I know, Kent, you wanted to be in C, but would you settle for D?
It's just a letter up.
It's just a letter up, I mean.
Or in your case, it could be a letter down.
Keith is here.
What a fadea.
What the
Love your spiral staircase, Keith. I'm going to keep saying that only because I don't have one, and yours looks amazing.
Viral Beats is here. Viral Beats seems to think he could whoop Lil Wayne's ass in a hip-hop.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't know, Viral. You throwing out some wild shit.
And Wayne got bars.
Wayne got bars, but then again, Wayne is kind of a whack rapper too at the same time.
Whoa, what y'all talking about?
So I might put some chips towards Viral Beat whooping up on that man's ass.
Well, Wayne gets good when he chooses to come to the conscious side. That's when Wayne shines. But when he stays in that negative, degrading the culture and the black community, that's when he doesn't shine. That's called giving in to popular demand. If you don't sacrifice your music and give in to popular demand and just speak how you're supposed to, like, you know, how you live your life. Those who say they're gangster, but they never even seen the ghetto or a hood, but proclaim to be a gangster and call it, oh, it's just the art. If you ain't out there on the city streets, busting caps and killing people or robbing people or pimping women,
You ain't about them streets.
you ain't about them streets.
Viral
So
Beat says,
you should not be rapping about it.
what Viral Beat says, it's called industry brats.
Industry, I'm going to play whatever the industry says I should play to meet the social norm. I don't care about rap or hip hop or my style. I care about money and further dumbing people down in society without even trying to elevate anyone other than my own pockets.
Damn. Why are we going there? Why
Because
we going
it's
there?
the truth.
It's the truth, but god damn, why are we going there, bruh? See, when Viral Beats come in here, he like to start shit.
Hip hop wouldn't be where it is today if people kept it to the fucking culture and kept it real to the streets.
Yeah.
Our founding fathers didn't see it going this way, but when you put, oh, I'm not even going to say the word, you give them a little and they'll just ruin it for you.
Meryl, are you watching the backstage for Kent so he don't camp out? Because, you know, I can't see him back there.
Hell, that could be said about country music too.
See, she is. Yeah, country music is 2 sheets to the wind too.
You have to dig really deep to find some good classic, good storytelling country music out there.
You know what killed country music is when Beyonce went in there. That's what ultimately
it was dead before that.
That ended country music.
It was dead before that.
Beyonce single-handedly killed country music. It's now pop music with country twang to it. Unless you bump in somebody like Jamie Johnson or Hank Williams or Randy Travis, Marty Robbins, Garth Brooks, George Strait.
Jack said the industry tried to turn them all into mumble rappers, them MBs. Is that what he's saying?
Oh my God, not the mumble rappers.
I call them Gerber rappers. Gerber baby food baby rappers.
Baby rappers.
They mumble and drool on themselves.
They sound like this.
Whatever happened to storytelling like Bill Withers? And
trap rappers are black people in the trap.
And exactly that.
And they trap themselves.
Trap.
And they can't get out of it. Black people rap themselves into a trap rap, then called the genre trap rap.
Because they can't get out of it.
Because they can't get out of their own trap. You think about that. Hip hop is dead. I don't care what anyone says. The only thing that's alive about hip hop is the 90s and those who survived the 90s to now. Anything else to me is gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook.
I may have overstepped a little there.
Just
I'm
a little
sorry.
bit. I thought about it too, but
going crazy here.
It frustrates you. I'm gonna let it pass. Whatever happened to Fat Domino and Creedence Clearwater?
Whatever happened to Creedence Clearwater?
Yeah, and Cream.
And Cream and
storytelling.
God damn. Some CCR, bruh.
You'll never hear another Wall album by Pinky. You'll never hear music like that ever again in your lives. Damn it all to hell. Jack says Slick Rick Derula had an album drop in 2025. Now I gotta go find it.
You gotta put that in Discord. Don't you dare hoard that from us.
Los locos kick your balls. Los locos kick your face. Wait, los locos kick your... Wait, how did that go? You're missing some points there, Wagyu. Los locos kick your ass. Los locos kick your face. Los locos kick your balls into outer space. Johnny 5 is alive.
Johnny 5 is alive. Tracker Jack is in the house.
Redact them legs, everybody. Redact your legs.
Whatever happened to Buckshot Shorty and the boot camp clique? Whatever happened to Craig Mack?
Ooh.
Whatever happened to De La Soul?
Got new flavor in your ear.
Whatever happened to Arrested Development?
Mr. Wendell.
Whatever happened to Black Sheep? You could get with this,
Or you could get with that.
you could get with this,
Or you could get with that.
you could get with this.
Or you could get with that.
I think you go with this.
Because this is where it's at. Don't even go down to engine number 9.
Whatever happened to Fleetwood Mac?
Keith, what are the Likely Lads? Whatever happened to the Likely Lads? I don't know who they are, but what happened to them? Keith wants to know. I'm just posing the question.
I would love to hear one of Kent's deep fucking horns or something to wreak havoc in here right now. Fiona!
Yes, Thomas. I don't think we'll be singing too much, but I don't know. We're going to hook the VTs up, and you never know. We might surprise you in the long run. Whatever happened to Return of the Mac? Whatever happened to Ahmad Lewis back in the day? Whatever happened to TLC and Don't Be Chasing Waterfalls? Stick to the dicks and balls that you used to. Whatever happened to them days? In Vogue. Belle Bib DeVoe, Boys to Men.
Whatever happened to the Ohio Players?
Whatever happened to Marvin Gaye, Barry White, Simply Red, Les Claypool, the Bee Gees?
Simply Red. What happened to Simply Red?
Somebody find Simply Red right now. Find his old red-headed ass and somebody find out what he's doing. Wagyu says De La Soul is on tour in Europe right now, as well as they should be. I bet you the Far Side is out there with him somewhere. Right, Wabbit. Cameo's cool piece. What happened to it? Wabbit wants to know. Huh? What happened?
Damn.
What happened to Cameo?
Gladys Knights and the Pips.
What happened to Tears for Fears? What happened to Poison? Guns N' Roses? AC/DC?
What happened to candy-coated raindrops? What happened to Tevin Campbell? My favorite. What happened to Sade? Most important, what happened to Tracker Retracted Legs? What happened to that guy?
Trucker said, what happened to Grace Jones? I remember Grace Jones and Conan.
Grace Jones.
Do you guys remember Grace Jones and Conan?
Is Grace Jones still doing something?
And she was sexy then. Strange.
Wagyu, goddammit, find out where Grace Jones is right now.
Somebody get her on the phone.
Bring her in here.
She was in a movie with Eddie Murphy called Boomerang, and she was selling this perfume called Strange. And it was the essence of afterbath, straight from her vagina. And she called it Strange.
Yo, what happened to the Fat Boys in Run DMC?
Ooh, the Fat Boys. What happened to the Beastie Boys? A plus.
Okay, here's a real question. What happened to Andre 3000? I mean, like literally, what happened to Andre 3000 in that damn Flute album?
What happened to Enter the Sandman? Soundgarden.
System of a Down. And what the hell is Kent doing? Is his shit not firing up? What happened to Kent Spong?
Kid Creole and the Coconuts, says Steve Elbows. Where are they? What happened?
What happened to Weird Al Yankovic?
What happened to him? What happened to Gallagher and smashing watermelons? Does anyone know?
happened to River Bottom Nightmare Band?
What happened to Fraggle Rock?
What happened to Otis Redding?
Cigarettes and coffee, yo.
What happened to it? Can anybody tell me what happened to the Ramones? God damn it. What about the Ramones? What about Oingo Boingo?
What happened to The Cure? God damn it, Tracker Jack. What happened to Kool and the Gang? Where are they?
Whoa, yo, I totally forgot about the Kool and the Gang. What? What happened to Salt and Pepper is here and we're back in the fair,
Working up a sweat.
What happened to Aaron Lewis and Stained? When's the last time anybody played a Chuck Berry album? Or a Public Enemy song? X-Clan and Grand Poobah.
A Big Daddy Kane album.
Who remembers Big Pun? Fat Joe.
Or Mr. Magic Molly Mole, Biggie Smalls. Cause if you don't know, now you know. Jack know what I'm talking about.
Cannonball Adderley. Oh, Kool and the Gang is on tour, Wagyu said. What?
Wow.
Chick Richard. What are you going on about, Thomas? This better not be some French guy. Prometheus said, what happened to Lassie?
What? Somebody go find Lassie now.
What happened? Where's Lassie's probably long gone by now, but damn, what happened to Lassie?
She's got offspring. She got a bloodline.
Dang, Living Color. What's up with that? What's that? What's that? What's that, Lassie? Timmy is missing? Fucking Chrome.
What happened to Little House on the Prairie? With John London.
Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. I have no fucking idea.
That's a
Now
UK
y'all throwing
thing.
curveballs.
Y'all better stop trolling. Is that a UK thing?
Oh shit, Kumo D.
The Wild Wild West. I live downtown.
129th Street.
Is that the address?
Something like that. What happened? I better not say it, but what happened to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh, DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, yo.
Yo, he's got a YouTube channel and he spins.
DJ Jazzy Jeff has a YouTube channel he spins. Yo, what happened to Kid and Play? Remember House Party?
Oh, Bilal's funky ass mouth.
Martin Lawrence? What happened to Kid and Play? What happened to Whoopi Goldberg and Jumpin' Jack Flash?
What happened to Patrick Swayze in the movie Ghost? Good evening, Sir Kent.
Good afternoon. Oh, Jesus.
Are you doing okay, brother?
It's a tad warming here.
Take off all your clothes. Strip down to the bone, sir.
You heard what the good man said, Kent. Strip down to the bones.
Alleviate yourself of all of your worldly possessions.
In that case, you first.
It's a censored show. I get naked and the whole room turns dark.
How fortunate for you.
How fortunate for us all, sir. This is the song, this is the jam Kent plays his departing vessel out. His sinking ship. Kent tells them, as you groove to the vibe, and this may be your very last vibe, I want to send you out with proper style.
Are we to be joined by others?
Those who dare to join Mr. Spongelis, they join. But the show must go on, oh boy.
Yes.
Oh, look there. There, over there. There's a panda with a bum cunt between his legs. Welcome in, panda.
A bum cunt.
A bum cunt.
So basically it just can't make up its mind.
muff bum hole is a random shit out of Jervis' mouth. Some random shit.
Tracker says, whatever happened to Get Jervis? Whatever happened to that?
Yeah,
Whatever.
but how do you know?
Yeah, but how do you know?
How do you know his cat won't shit on the table?
How do you know?
Yeah, gravity, man.
Gravity. That's right. Hey, Jervis, I'm gonna take a shit on your synthesizer. Son of a bitch.
And then not pay.
For free, Jervis. For free. You're gonna feed me and I'm gonna defecate on your goddamn synthesizer.
Have you met Lily?
People do pay for that kind of shit, Jervis.
It's
That's
true.
right. Yep.
It's what the glass coffee table was invented for.
Mm-hmm. What was that shit, Kent? What, 2 girls and 1 cup? Isn't that what that shit was? Literally?
Yeah, I've never seen it. I know of
You
it.
don't. You don't. You don't ever want to witness that.
Probably not. I mean, the title says everything you need to know.
Well, it threw me for a loop because I've heard nothing about it. And then when they were like 2 girls, 1 cup, I'm thinking like, okay, well,
I believe it's much worse than you think it could.
yes,
I
yes, yes. And I've witnessed it. I don't know how, but I've seen it.
Well,
I never want to watch it again.
I suppose it can't be any worse than tapioca pudding from school.
Oh, so you do have an inkling.
If it's like that, yeah.
I'd much rather watch the tapioca pudding from school.
And eat it.
Yeah. Because when it came to that stuff, I'm not quite sure what was better. The before or after eating it. Oh, Roxbury.
what you got on the bass? That sounds different. It's the mono?
accident. I thought it was you for about 3 minutes. I didn't know it was me playing it.
I was picking up on that vibe you were laying down, Kent.
The trouble is, if I'm doing it, you getting the synchronization to it would be
Off.
impossible, as opposed to being in the same room as where it was happening.
Yeah, I wonder if we were close, though. It was probably off.
Yeah. Can't be helped. Cannot be helped.
Sounded pretty close to me, but then again, don't trust my ears. Because how do you know?
How do you know?
George G's just says he picked up a sweet deal, bought a Korg Triton for $50 in the
Wow. That is good. That is good. It also reflects on the state of the 90s digital market.
Herb said it sounded okay there. It probably wasn't that off as what we thought. Looks like Chris Ed went shoplifting.
The old 5-finger discount, eh, Chris?
Cressy says, what's 5% of free?
This kind of sounds like we went through some great big old blue whale's vagina. Somebody scored it, and we're just missing a big reverb. Hello!
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Wow. That's cool. It's like an air fryer in it.
You don't even want to move, do you?
But it also doesn't help sitting next to
This is true. This is why I say strip down to your loincloth, brethren. Let
Oh,
your
dear.
nuts hang out.
At my age, they're always hanging out.
I'm not too far behind.
If I wore a dressing gown to my ankles, they'd still be hanging out.
Fine said indeed, Spongillis.
Yes, I had floor polish on my nuts.
saying you want to enter the arena? 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Again, if anybody wants to jump in, okay, feel free to bring your asses on in here. We're in the key of D. I don't know if is it D minor?
I thought it was going to be C minor, bitch.
I think it is D minor. Yep. I like that, Spawn Gillis. From D to F to E, back to C to D. No, somebody's got it. Oh, that's this guy over here. I'm following somebody over here. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, I was waiting to see where it was going to go.
It just kind of chases itself, and I was just like, oh, something's lovely.
Check and see if you have echo cancellation
Yeah.
on. Roy Droid.
It's D minor too.
Yeah. Which one is D minor? The one holding the shovel. Fucking hell.
Fucker. Yes, boss.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, boss. That'd be the key, sir. Yes. And then just drop your volume just a skosh and come right up on in here. Wipe your goddamn feet off on the rug. Was waiting for some Deliverance type banjo guitar playing. Some of that pig fucker.
Tone Smith, you want to come in? Are you trying to bring a trombone in here? Ever since Dana White got into it, Meryl. What happened to Fred Wesley?
Who the hell is Fred Wesley? I know a Fred Dirks.
What happened to Fred Savage?
And our friend Fred Flintstone.
I know Fred Flintstone.
The Wonder Years.
Limp Bizkit. Whatever happened to the Offspring?
Whatever happened to my sex drive?
Damn. Whatever happened to Debbie Does Dallas?
She did Dallas and left.
Oh,
What happened to Fred West? Hopefully something bad.
Who the hell is Fred West?
Oh, multiple murderer.
Oh. Well, we had Richard Ramirez on our city streets in Los Angeles at the height of the 80s. He was called the Night Stalker. I don't know if you guys caught wind of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Yeah.
Oh, he said a trombonist.
Oh.
Fred Wesley. Weasley? Wesley?
Wisely.
Wisely?
Wesley?
Whatever happened to, see, you guys don't have it in the UK, but we had this commercial that would run, and it was the Fruity Pebbles commercial.
Oh.
Fred Flintstone, they would just go bananas for the Fruity Pebbles. It's one of my favorite cereals. Too bad it gets soggy too goddamn quick, but I figured that out too, Kent. Don't oversaturate your cereal with a lot of milk.
Oh, tell me about it.
It'll stay crunchy longer.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened to George G's finally starting his YouTube channel and making music with us?
Why is George G's buying a bunch of equipment and we don't get a chance to fucking hear it? Can anybody answer that? Not you, George. Because you obviously don't have the fucking answers. But somebody else does. How long we gotta wait, George? You can answer that one. How long you gonna make us wait?
Apollo said it's for George, not for us.
Damn it, Apollo. Damn it.
I don't know, Tone Smith. The guy from Yusuf Days, what's his name? He's dope, the saxophone player.
I forget his name.
My favorite was from Dave Matthews Band, but
Leroy Moore.
Leroy Moore died. Now I'm probably gonna have to say damn, Kamasi Washington is gangster. I don't know. Kenny G is still up there for me.
Oh yeah, John Coltrane is a savage.
Well, I've got to say the bargain of the month goes to George. No two ways about it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
George gets the Bargain of the Month award. A Triton. I don't even know what it is, okay? I'm not a synth guy, but when everybody's going, ooh, ah, yeah, $50 in the case, to me that just says score. Congratulations, George.
I was going to say it was like the upgrade of the Trinity, but you just go, meh.
Tom Smith said more like the Century, huh? What am I missing here?
Well, they normally knock around for about anything between like $500 and $700, depending on condition. So to get one for 50 in a flight case. Yeah, it's probably one of my restored ones as well.
Damn, 50 stacks. Are you shitting me?
No.
For CS80, 50 fucking stacks?
The most expensive one I've seen and sold was for 110k.
Get the fuck out of here, Kent.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Straight up. So you imagine how much Vangelis' one's worth?
Oh.
Don't worry, Roy Droid. It's tough. It takes some practice to get in here and keep with the timing and understand the latency. It's just practice and you'll get it.
And at best, don't worry about it.
Yep. Well, the only way to get up to speed is to just...
See, I could be doing this and then go, nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck. This is the land of we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, hang on a minute, he's getting all Vangelis now.
Hey, Rourke, welcome in.
But shit, Roy, I applaud you. You jumped your ass up on in here. We encourage all of our Saurians to jump on right up on in here. Kent doesn't bite, we promise.
No, not since I've had my teeth removed.
See, he can't even fucking bite. He'll just gum you to death.
Yeah, it might give me a nice suck.
Kent.
But money has to change hands. I'm not a bitch.
You and I better never ever land on a stranded island, okay? It better never happen, Kent.
There you go. They'll be there going, oh, go on, you might as well. It's not like there's anything else on offer.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a couple of guys out here perusing, right? We're just perusing. You get us home, we're straight again. It's all good. It's just an evening cocktail is all it is.
Was it Kent, nice saxophone? That'd be Kent, don't neglect the ball spawn. Oh yeah.
Ooh, that was nice. It's a stretch.
Okay.
I may not be able to do what you do, but I can accent the shit out of it, Kent.
Go for it, babe. That's what it's all about.
Wagyu said, Brokeback Island. Oh, shit. Stop showing off, Chrome. I told you can't come in here showing off.
Yeah. Do.
Apollo, you ain't lied. You ain't lied. YouTube wants nothing but drama. Play live music and you only get 50 views. You give them drama, you get 5,000.
Instant.
Yeah.
Shit. Apollo, get your ass in here and play something, motherfucker.
Yeah, bring us some drama.
Get your ass in here.
Up.
Yeah, play some drama. Ooh, I like that little progression there, Court or Kent. Bum, 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 bum.
Sounds dangerously like something else, though. Just seems to remind me of something.
Kick that beat in so me and Kent can figure this shit out. That's what he needs. Get that fucking beat in here. Let's get nasty, Kent. Let's just fuck.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Brokeback Island, here we come. I gotta stand up now.
Keith. It's always a pleasure having you here.
Always.
Not yet, Sammy. You come in here spitting facts, bruh. Kent may be the Monkey Island elder to glue it all together.
By the way, where the fuck did all that come from?
Sound pretty fucking sweet, Kent.
Well, where did it come from? I mean, seriously.
Your arse.
How do you
I got
know?
I got the bass line from UBA, but how do you know?
Yeah, but how do you know?
I don't know. You just don't.
Etc., etc.
Thank you for the bass line idea.
Mad when you think about it, because it's made up of the other elements of the track before.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
Just a nice bridge to it. I mean, if you want to have a breakdown to it, that'd be a hell of a breakdown.
yeah.
Go back to the beginning chords, Bub, of the drum tracks and put the piano back in it. We'll play the beginning of it, and then we're going to play the other rendition or the other bridge to it. See how it sounds. Yeah, it's right there, kid. You can already hear it.
Yeah. The two mixed together. Quite.
I like that sound, Ken. I don't know what it is, but it's lovely.
Fender Rhodes played like Vangelis style.
Mm.
Used to do a lot of that sort of.
Yes, sprinkles.
When I play strings in D, it always reminds me of spaghetti western.
Spaghetti Western.
But only when it's in D for some reason.
D is not a very sought after start, is it?
Not as a rule, but then I still think it's better than B.
B rarely gets any play unless you're deep into the reggae scene.
Yeah, but I think it's because the scale is such a pain in the ass.
Well, try my brother's how much he hates B flat.
I know it was a favourite of what's his mush, Glenn Miller.
Oh, Glenn Miller, yeah. Man, I hate the B flat scale. It's just something about it. B flat minor.
Yeah, but this D though, it's very. Where are you going, gringo? Ding 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 ding.
Where are you going?
What was it? I'm such a sucker for strings. Fuck's sake.
You ain't the only one.
Oh man, but I just love playing it so I can hear it. It's weird. I actually play it to entertain myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right when I got Albion 1, right when you suggest Albion, and you suggested that expression pedal, I just like the same way. I just like, man, it's just something about an orchestra sound that just makes you want to just go in over and over.
What I did find that when I started messing with strings, my playing started to improve because it had to. Because I was playing in a very straightforward, conventional style. Do you know? You know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. And strings no likey.
Strings don't lie. That's what it is.
They don't. They don't like. If you're going to be all conventional, strings sound wrong.
I wrote a very emotional tune on my acoustic. Right, took me a long time of just playing that over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But the moment you make a mistake on an acoustic, it's there and it's ugly.
Yeah, it's very unforgiving.
Yeah. Thomas Vaughn, real quick, you guys. Thomas Vaughn, thank you for always showing up and staying up in the wee hours like Kent Spongellis and the rest of the UK family. You are a true warrior soldier, sir.
It's easy for me. I'll wet the bed.
Yeah. Thomas, don't wet the bed like Kent. Don't do that.
But if you want to stay up late, wet the bed.
Don't
wet the bed.
Don't go out. Don't go out and fight a gorilla head on. Don't go out and sink a ship and watch it deteriorate and leave the fucking people to their own demise.
Yep. They will come for you.
They will come for you.
Thomas Vaughn reminds me of George G's.
Yeah, he's the. Where you at again, Thomas? Are you in?
He's in Paris, I believe.
Are you in Paris?
Oh, you lucky bastard! Is he?
I think he's in. I think he's
over there with Eddie Sonic some fucking where.
Beautiful city, absolutely stunning, beautiful place. Really.
Yeah.
Rourke said, "Tell me about your bass pedal board."
For me?
Yeah.
The bass pedal board? It's the GX100. And I built this phenomenal patch and I named it Clean Bass. And all it is a fretless patching. I threw a fretless, some reverb. I think I put a shimmer, but I muted the shimmer. And I have another, like a delay in there.
Oh, Probe said he thinks he's in Normandy.
Normandy.
Well, he's in Paris, but he thinks he's in Normandy.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, Normandy. Well, it's still France, isn't it, I suppose? Or is it?
Yeah, Rourke,
it?
Rourke, I'm going direct in, buddy. I don't have a cabinet anymore. I don't have an amplifier head. I sold all that. And the reason because of it is playing. So for me being the bass player, and I'm glad you asked this.
Yeah, he's in Normandy. Thomas just said it.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you asked that.
I could hit him with a tennis ball from here.
Oh, shit.
It's quite close, technically.
I hung up the amplifiers in the cabinet because when you play electronic music as a bass player, this is just my opinion, it sounded better when I was direct in because the cabinet never could tie in to the sound externally from what he was doing. And everything is direct in what he's doing. So the only way to match what he was doing and to stay in the same MIDI, right? That's the other thing about direct in. My delays and pedals MIDI up to his shit.
So I control his delay tailings and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it all
can
sounds,
send him a clock and things like that.
Exactly. And it all sounds warm and comfortable, and it seems and it sounds like it's sharing the same space.
Yeah.
My cabinet, my full stack in my head, there was this
nastiness. It just romped too hard.
It just wasn't cohesive.
Yeah. But he had a Mesa Boogie, a Behringer forced
and a
Behringer,
PV.
Yeah,
I had a PV on top of a Behringer stack, and it was a beautiful sound for live playing with the live band, right? Like the traditional band playing music. The bass player brings his own sound, lovely because everybody's independent. However, when you're playing electronically, different ball games, sir. Even my responsibility as a bass player isn't the same. I'm used to being in the back and nonchalant and nobody ever noticing me. Now
he has to be up front.
And everybody fucking notices you.
And when we had the QSCs, I don't know if you all know about QSC monitors and subwoofers for live events. And we're going to get back in the garage here within like a month or so. But QSCs, to me, make the best monitors you could possibly buy.
Rourke says, typical. Cutting off the bass player as soon as he gets a minute in the spotlight. You goddamn right, Rourke.
Yep. But not this time. Now he's forced to be up front. And for him to be able to play with electronic music is unforgiving because essentially there's no breaks. So he has to romp for like 3 hours.
With no fuck ups, but you know that's impossible.
Depending on how long our shows are going to be. I think we committed to doing our live shows outside the studio somewhere. We're probably going to do like an hour and a half.
And record it. Hopefully we can record it.
Yeah. What's funny too is we don't have to burn through our material because obviously you guys been here and we just sat on one song and went in from beat to drone. Like we could do that for an hour easy on one song.
But why would you?
So we'll always have material. If we said we're just gonna take 8 songs out on the road, those 8 songs can buy us a long time.
Yeah, that's an easy 2 hours.
Yeah, I watched some.
Do it right.
I've watched some good bands do it right.
That's a couple hours.
Like Rush did it right. Dream Theater did it right. Bob Moses, they do it right.
Yeah.
Para Fakuva, Christian LaFour.
I tell you what, though, it's different.
The Blaze.
It's challenging different. For me, at least.
It's morning time for Wagyu. And Bicky. Well, I guess it is morning time for you guys.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, but having a live drummer wouldn't be bad in here. You know, like having somebody that has those electrical drum sets.
Yeah.
That shit wouldn't be bad either. Or even an acoustic drum set.
Well, the electronic ones, obviously, you got that, you know, plug it in, DI thing again.
With the electric ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll sound cohesive, you know.
Yeah.
So even if you want to run
let's face it, the electronic ones give you more scope. You can change
they do
different sounds.
Effect. I was going to say, and if he wanted to have a reverb or delay, it'll all be midied in. So
yeah.
DI is starting to be the way if you want a cohesive sound. I'm finding that to be. Like, I had no problem getting rid of my cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah, well. You got to get yourself an upright anyway.
Yeah, that's the next thing on my list. It's the next thing. Rourke says, yeah, a nice kit from Roland would be sick.
Yeah.
A nice E-kit. Have to look those up.
I know Robbie was really impressed with that one that Roland sent him. He used for about 4 weeks or something. Really fantastic set.
Yeah.
So Bear came at a fantastic price as well.
Hey, and Rourke, firstly a drummer I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a drummer. I didn't know that. Rourke, come on, man. Why don't you fly your happy Rourke ass out here and come play some fucking drums? And now we got Bro Gellis over here, protege of Spawn Gellis. He's just the mixed cultural version.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, bring your ass back to Hoosier Land, Rourke. Come on now. What key is that? What is he playing in, Kent?
C, I think.
What key?
The thing about playing that style
C. Yep.
is trying to ignore what your left hand is doing while you're playing your right, and trust it to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
It's a really weird thing, I must admit.
I'm watching him do it. It's like I'm not a piano player, obviously.
Well, you know, I'm not either, but it's one of these weird things where you can. And if you do there's this thing where
it's hard. You go when you start to think about the fucking left hand.
As soon as you start to think about it,
yes,
and over it goes. But it was doing that with that hand. That's all well and good, but doing that without bloody looking at it and playing a different keyboard, holy mother!
Right.
And to do it confidently, and you watch some of these guys and they're going.
Breezing through it.
Yeah. You ever sit and watch Stevie Wonder fucking molest the piano?
Don't.
If piano ivories
you say that, Lamar, but there's something in this, right? When I was learning to play the Roley, when I first got the Roley, I played it for 3 nights solid, right? In the dark. Because I found that the more I tried to concentrate where I was putting my fingers, the more I got it wrong.
Right.
When I started just letting myself find the notes, it got easier. And then when I played it in daylight, after 3 days mucking around with it, and I played it in daylight and played it, I was like, whizzing all over it. I was like, and I'm watching myself playing it and going, I don't fucking believe I'm doing this. It actually surprised me.
I'm glad you said that, because as I've been playing nonstop for this past over a year, and I'm listening to you, and I'm like, oh wait, I know that note. If I stop myself from trying to find where I'm going and just play by the ear, or just like you said, just let yourself go and play, you already know where to go. It's just that you fight yourself and you fuck it all up because you get in your way.
You get in your own way. I mean, I'll be honest. When I was listening to you guys playing the first time round, when you turned around, I think it must have been at least a month later from watching the shows and everything. And you turned around and said, you'd only been playing like a year or a couple of years, and so I'm going, really? Only a couple of years? Seriously?
Mm-hmm. We're at 3.
That's impressive. No, seriously. Pat yourself on the back. It's really fucking impressive what you were doing from only just going, oh, let's play music. All right, fuck it, let's do it. And you get in the gear, you set it all up, and you start playing. And you were putting together stuff.
Yeah.
Seriously, you were putting together stuff. Because I know people who've been playing, like, say, 3 or 4 years, and they're still very sort of like, the tongue comes out and everything. Type thing. And that's fair dues. And everybody learns at different speeds.
Right.
Arguably, anyway. And, I found that I couldn't be taught by somebody.
Right.
I found that out very early. Because I showed an interest in keyboards when I was 2. And my mum goes, why don't we try and get him some piano lessons? And, of course, my dad was all up for that, because it was all very sort of like, oh, yes, it's very academic and all the rest of it. And I did. And I learned nothing from this piano teacher. I think I was about 5 or 6, and I was at these, like the rudimentary things to play. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't be taught to do it. Because as soon as I was being taught, I didn't want to know. And I found that I would only play if I was left to my own devices. And then I'd play. I'd be quite happy to play all day.
When you and Scott were giving me lessons, like, I could take lessons from you guys all day long because you don't give a fuck. You're just like, try this, try that. Don't forget about the left hand. And then you guys are just so nonchalant about it. Like, and if you don't get it, who gives a fuck? It's just so relaxing because there's nothing mounting over me.
If you're putting pressure on, right, to learn something, right, immediately you're not going to be enjoying it. And as soon as you're not enjoying it, you're not allowing your mind to explore what you're playing, right? And how you're playing it. And you're concentrating on, am I pushing the right notes? And it just fucks the whole thing up.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Yeah.
And yes, there are teachers who can teach people to play and play incredibly well. And there's a lot of discipline involved and everything else, and that's true. But if you want to get to that sort of like super duper level, right? You do have to take these lessons. You do have to learn. You have to learn to sight read. You have to do all this bollocks, right? And by the time you get to the top of your game and everything, and you can play anything that's put in front of you and all this sort of thing, only then can you actually start to enjoy the music.
Well, like Mara was saying, that's a good point, because if you do something blindfolded, I do that. I close my eyes and I'm hers is jujitsu, but mine, if I close my eyes on the bass and my muscle, and if I allow my muscle memory just to take over, even if I fuck up, I know if I'm up or down from the actual note, right? So I'll roll my fingers slightly to adjust to get me over the fret where you want to play anyway, close to the fret.
Yeah.
But if you close your eyes, that's canceling out all your senses, or you're relying on a different set of senses.
Yeah.
And that's telling you, trust your fucking self, not your eyes. Just feel your way around it, literally, because you can't see it. Feel your way and listen around it.
I'm like Wagyu. Wagyu says I never wanted to be a biological sequencer for sheet music. Yeah. I'm like Wagyu, but at the same time, if I want to enhance my chord progression, I do have to learn shit like this.
Outlining chords.
Yeah.
And then loop it,
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to do that in order to sequence it. But then once you start doing it, you're like, well, fuck, I wish I could spend more time doing this. But then you forget what type of artist you are, and you have to be constantly like moving from one thing to the other, sweeping filters, adding in this and that, bring the beats in, cut off the beat, and you have to be all over the place. You're not the piano player for a band.
Well, one thing that I found that helped me advance more, or at least quicker, was to do covers. Learn other people's tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And you find these chords and everything like that. And then what's interesting is when you're playing somebody else's song, sometimes you go, oh, I recognise this chord.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, ah. So when you come to actually writing music, you've got a rough idea, before you've even started what you're going to write, you've got an idea of where you can go and what works, And then once you start experimenting out from there, and once you start doing that particular thing, where you start looking beyond, that's when you're becoming a real composer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because now you're looking for what people I haven't done.
Chrome,
whether they have or not.
Right.
As far as you're concerned.
Right. Yeah. Chrome said when he was a kid learning piano, if he had audio instead of sheet music, I would have been more motivated to practice.
Damn.
Yeah.
But that's for Chrome. And I imagine other people feel the same way. I think when you get into an instrument, you constantly need some sort of motivation,
right?
Just to help you. Like for me,
but you don't want anything boring.
No, but like for me, getting a brand new bass, right? Finally, like a quality, worthwhile bass. That's a lot of fucking motivation, right? The feel of it, the sound of it, the tone of it. It makes you. I look at my bass and it makes me want to pick it up and play.
Right.
Yeah. Or I'll hear something you do with the drums, and I'll go, that's my motivation right there.
Or even like when I buy like these expensive synths and I watch other people play, and then Marilyn putting us on a 1-year journey. Yeah. That's I mean, I have no choice but to get in here and consistently play something.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're forced to do it too, even when you don't want to, I think those are the times that count the most, because those are the times you're really cramming it in your ear. Like you and Scotty you two can play by ear. You've been doing it long enough. And you know these, like you said, you know all these chords. So you're trained, right? So imagine yourself
kind of learned how to play.
Okay, now put yourself back into people that have just started 3 years ago and just try to remember what that's like to now try to learning a language from from scratch, pretty much.
Yeah.
From its infancy.
Yeah.
And you say pat yourselves on the back, and we really need to hear that. To be, this is the God honest truth. And if anybody's playing music and they want to know, because we sit here and we do our thing, but to hear that we're good at what we do, I don't give a fuck who you are. You need to hear that. You need to hear someone. Let you know where you're at.
Yeah. Because I'll be absolutely honest here. I didn't think I was a great keyboard player at all until people started hearing my music and saying, "You're really good." I go, "No, fuck off." I go, "No, seriously, you are quite good." So they go, "All right." As they go down, I'll go down with them. I said, "No, I'm not that fucking good."
I know when we first heard you here, I was just like, "Oh my God, who the fuck is this guy?" Yeah. And why is he on our channel?
Right.
Like, what? We don't have anything to offer you, sir. Like, you got an ear that's far beyond
I tell you what
you
gave me. A fucking excuse to play keyboards.
Right.
And nobody else or anything else has done that for me, to be honest. Because before it was a case of like, I would get like a fad and go, right, I'm going to play some music sort of stuff. And I'd go upstairs and set this all up and I'd play. And it's all like, do it every night for like a week, 2 weeks or something like that and go. And I'd have a selection of tracks that I've written and go, yeah, they just need to be mixed properly, I think. And, you know, whatever. And then walk away.
Right.
And sometimes I wouldn't go back to it for, 6 months. But what was bizarre about it is, although I haven't gone back to it for 6 months, I'm still looking at, oh, that's a lovely keyboard. Whoa, how much is that?
Yeah.
And I haven't played the keyboard for like 8 weeks. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing, Ken? You some sort of mental patient, which technically I am.
Right.
And then, so I get these fads every now and again, and then I suddenly buy a load of keyboards on top of the keyboards I had. And because I go, oh, selling keyboards is such a pain in the ass. I'll just put them in a cupboard. For fuck's sake. And, oh, hello, darling. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you play one of my tracks and I see people going, oh yeah, no, nice track. Oh, I like that and everything. And I go, wow, I like it.
Yeah, it feels good, man. Anybody who says that they don't care what people think or they're fucking lying, man. Like, if you do anything that's art related, you care about what people think of it. It makes you feel good. It gives you more momentum to keep going,
Yeah. Chrome says, an adult taking up an instrument brings life to the table. So easy to get good than a youngster, in his opinion. But I argue kids in elementary school should have much more music listening classes than performing. Learn to play in the later years when they get a feel.
When they get the feel for it.
Yeah. That
and they
is
really know if they want to learn.
Right.
Exactly. Right. Now, I must admit, we did have a teacher at my school who did constantly play records to us. It was a music lesson, and he would play records, and he'd play, I do like these classical pieces, and he'd tell you all the history behind it and what the instruments are portraying, because like he'll do like these sort of like ballet suites and stuff like that. And I go, well, this flute is representing this, that, and the other, and whatever. And it was very eye-opening because I'd never listened to music in that way before. I hear notes, and I either like it or don't.
Right.
And he was explaining why the flute is playing this, why the cello's doing. The cello is the big bad wolf, and the flute is the little bunny rabbit, or whatever kind of thing, right? And then you start getting these pictures in your head as a kid. And you start seeing the music and what it's representing. It was quite an eye-opener for me. I really thank that music teacher for doing it, because it changed how I listened to music, basically. And, I wasn't into classical music, because when you're a kid, classical music's like, it's boring, it's for old people and all that sort of thing. And, of course, I did grow up in a time where synthesizers really started to properly kick in mainstream music. I was already interested in synthesizers, but it wasn't in the charts. And if it was, it'd be one or two notes buried away somewhere. It wasn't something that was very prominent.
So
as I'm leaving school and starting work, and then you get all this fucking explosion of contemporary pop groups coming out and everything like that, who were like all synthesizers and maybe a drummer or a guitarist, but primarily the main body of the music is the synthesizers. And I was, growing up with this at that right age, 16, turning 17 and 18 and stuff like that. And then all this stuff's coming out. And I'm just hearing how the sounds of synthesizers had influenced the people and what the music that they generated from. Because if they'd had conventional instruments, they would not have come up with those tracks.
Right. And you got to watch that transition. That's something that, because you're older than us, you got to literally watch a synth transition. But can you read music at all?
No.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
No, I can't make head nor tail of it at all.
Right.
If you showed me notes on the lines, I'm not even sure which line is what what note, if you know what I mean.
You ain't alone there. I know what the bass note looks like. I know on the line it's not per se the line of like how tab is, but
yeah,
I know some basics of it, but I can't read music for shit to save my life.
I don't know if I know that they got the funny squiggly one, like the was it the what they call it, the higher notes basically, not the bass line, and then you have that 4 over a 4, so that it's 4 beats, blah blah blah. But the rest of it is just I don't know. I really don't know what the fuck any of it is.
Yeah.
And fortunately, because I can sit down, listen to it, especially now, I can sit down, listen to a record and go, oh, okay, and then start playing it. So the use of music to me is useless anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah, Wagyu picked his shit up, classical music from his mom, playing the piano in the Grands, always listening to the classic FM in her car.
Yeah, it's the same here. My mum was massively into classical music. And she'd be playing these records, and then one day I just turned around and went, wow, that is a fucking beautiful piece of music. What's that? And she'd go, it's a Adagio by Barber or whatever. And I'm going, fucking hell, the chords in that, man. It's just, it's so strong, so powerful, it's so nice. I'd heard this stuff 100 times before, and straight over my head.
Yep.
Because it wasn't cool, man. And then suddenly, just one day, I just started hearing this stuff and going, oh, holy fuck, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn how to play it, and my God, was it a pain in the ass. I wanted to learn it so badly. I just hammered at it.
It's funny. We got to close it up, but it's funny how people come across it. And like what Jack says, pictures at an exhibition is the personal favorite to hear at a Philharmonic. People find music in the most peculiar ways.
Yeah.
At an exhibition, I guess when it hits you and when music finds you, it finds you. For the life of me, I can't understand why we don't have more musicians.
And even more or less, it's important that someone tells you the truth. Like if Marilyn ever lied to me throughout this whole buying synthesizers and getting into music, if she ever lied to me, I'd be on a different track.
Yeah.
But she always told me the truth about how the music was sounding. Was I able to put tracks together, put a sound together?
Yeah.
And she was always like, "Oh yeah, you're for not owning any of this shit, you're doing great." And it was that kept me going.
Yeah,
it's the smallest fucking thing that'll keep you going. But if she said, "Oh my God, this sounds like shit," I don't know if I would have bought anything else or continued down the path. Like I don't know if I would have invested more time to learn something that if I'm already starting off and it sounds like shit and I'm thinking it sounds great, it's just like, oh no.
Maybe I need to stay here and work on this particular thing.
Right. But then sometimes that just weighs a person off to a different path on a different art to where you think you are confident enough to see it all the way out.
I remember playing the bass and sounding like straight shit. Like I knew I wasn't sounding anything like what I was listening to. It was all fret buzz. This is just poor finger dexterity, and it just sounded like shit. And then I slowly started to come along.
Yeah.
I think
must
that
admit, another thing that got me into classical music, and I can't leave it out because it was a big influence, was Tomita. Because he was playing classical music but using synthesizers, I was interested because it was synthesizers. And that did help me to appreciate the music. So when I'm hearing the music in its traditional orchestral form, I was going, yeah, this is nice. But it took to hear it in synthesizers to get me interested in it, which is really fucking weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when Hans comes along and he's doing these big scores and everything. I mean, because he comes from a synth background as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, the chords he's doing and the tunes he's putting together for the films and stuff like that. And going, yeah, this is lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, lovely. No, yeah, I must admit, you're right, Uncle. What's his mush? Wendy Carlos's Switched on Bach and stuff like that was another one that got me sort of like into it. But I found it harder to get into people like Bach and Mozart because it was very broken up in my ears. And I like long string chords, although I didn't know at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, also another one that started it all going. It's interesting how who and what you're influenced by can determine how your music turns out later on.
Oh, tell me! And sometimes you don't even sound like who influenced you. You have your own sound.
Yeah,
that's a blessing.
I mean, admittedly, I went out of my way to try and sound like Vangelis because, as far as I was concerned, Vangelis was a fucking god.
Right.
And because he did everything on his own, everything was created by him there in that room. And that really appealed to me because as a magrophobic, that's kind of a really fucking great way to be.
But look what he's done to you, though. Look how well you sound.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, but it also helped me start off an entire career as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it helped me to pay for the fucking things that I wanted to get to sound like him. So, and yeah, it's weird how sometimes just how things turn out. It's just bizarre. I mean, I don't think at any point I ever actually planned it this way at all. Actually, I doubt whether I actually plan anything, come to think of it.
Yeah. I wanted to sound like the Dave Matthews bass player, Stefan Lessard, who actually got me to play bass. He's one of the most underrated bass players in the world, in my opinion. No one goes around talking about Stefan Lessard and how groovy. This dude has some of the most dopest, grooviest fucking bass lines that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But yet he gets little recognition.
Yeah, but this is another weird thing about music, is you can have somebody who actually is who excels. I mean, really, really excels at what they do. But that's not what makes you famous.
Nope. All the fancy, flashy
all
fucking
you'll be
notes,
doing
the
is in
slapping
the
and
right
popping.
band. Yeah.
Yep.
You could be an average bass player or guitarist or drummer or whatever. But if you happen to be in the band at the time that a certain track is written and you're part of it, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
It's that sort of like click moment.
Yeah.
Where
he's
you
a
be
good
an
bass player.
incredible musician
He's
all your life and no fucking knows.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those weird things, isn't it? I mean, I guarantee you that somewhere in the world there's somebody who can play and write incredibly beautiful songs, and no fucking knows about it. Honest to God, I believe that.
Yeah. Except to a small group of people that maybe that person plays around.
And I mean, yeah, but I mean, I hear, like Popcorn Night, and you listen to some of these tracks and going, wow, it's all this talent. I mean, honest to God, talent, right? And it's just there.
And you would have never heard it.
Yeah, and you go, there's all this going on, and no other fucker around knows.
Which is wild.
That's wild.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and go, where else is it as well? And in what fields? Come think of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you can put things on YouTube and they can do marginally well or whatever. But it has to be the right kind of thing at the right time in the right place, blah, 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 which is something you can't learn to do.
Exactly.
And, because somebody can write the most beautiful song, it like be the perfect opening title track to a Bond film, for instance. Right? It would just be absolutely perfect. And the musician is also the singer as well. So it's all their work, right? And it doesn't matter how beautiful that is, how skillfully it's done, or anything like that. But if there's a video comes along of a dog hitting another dog over the head with its dog bowl, and that's going to have 1 billion views, and every fucker's going to know about it.
Yeah.
And it could be the next video down from that, or the video above even. And it's just, you go, just enjoy your music. Just play it and enjoy it.
You ain't lied.
Would I like to be a famous film score writer? Yeah, I fucking would, actually.
Pays the bills.
Yeah. And, but also doing that music. I'd love to do that. I'd love to be, writing stuff and then hearing actual real instruments play it back to me and go, fuck. That's better than any sampler. I tell you, it'd be like, yes, that's what it was. In my head, that's what it sounded like. That kind of thing. And that would be wonderful. It would be absolutely wonderful. But I'm not going to be, so doesn't mean I don't want to be better at what I do.
Right.
I do want to be better at what I do. For me.
Yeah.
Although I must admit, when I play sometimes on the bed with one of the other keyboards in the bedroom, Siri and Nelly will they lie down, sort of like, and they rest their heads on the keyboard, and I'll play, and they'll just, I can make dogs sleep, no problem. At best, I could go and work at a kennel.
Yeah.
And I could be like the night watchman, and I just play some stuff on the keyboards, and all the dogs go to curl up and go to sleep. Yeah, it won't calm Lily down, Chrome. It won't. She's a fucking nightmare with legs.
Yeah, she's a nut.
She is a nut, but she's still in that she's still a young pup.
Puppy stage.
She'll get there, but at the moment, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay, hey, look, don't forget about Popcorn Night tomorrow. If you got anything you want to submit it, everybody. I think we'll just do something live before it starts.
Oh, cool.
And if you got 2 jams, you send 2. What else? Saturday, we are having a hard time trying to find a video to score to. We need to reach out to Azio Head to see if he found something.
It could be anything. It could be even a lump of film.
Yeah. We're definitely looking at some archive stuff. So
yeah, you can find a lump of one of your favourite films or something like that. Just play a lump of that and write something to. Mind you, the thing is, now when you're doing that, there's this thing of what the music sounds like to it already. Mm-hmm. And that can actually trip you up. So it needs to be something virgin.
Something good, something different.
Yeah, ideally, yeah.
So we definitely want to do that Saturday. Maybe we figure out a way to just do that on Saturday and just surf different things and show people while we're on the air. I think that's probably a good idea too. So
well, then you're showing the entire process, then, aren't you?
Yeah, fuck yeah. And we're still going to do this movie after we do this 365, which would be perfect for us because it will be entering the winter again and everything slows down for us too with horses and everything. So thank you everybody for showing up. We'll be back tomorrow. She's gonna try and get off work super early and at least try to get Popcorn Night going about 4:00. We're gonna try, but worst case scenario, she has to work late and it starts at 6. So
well, that's only 11 here then, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not horrible. Yeah. But shit, thank you for coming in, Kent.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, as always. Thank you, Roy Droid Void, for getting your ass.
Right? But hey, anytime I can see you watch or see you play music and I can hear it go with our shit, it's always a compliment.
It's a fucking treat.
Always appreciate it. Thank you, chat, for coming back. Thank you, Chrome, for watching over Monkey Island.
No, like I say, I know people have been, playing 2-3 years, and they're not experimenting and competently writing like you guys are. You're really, you're really running with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know different people learn at different speeds, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys have been coming on. Like I said, when I heard you'd only been doing it a couple of years, I was like, really? Fuck. I remember what I sounded like after learning to play for 3 years.
Right.
It wasn't that fucking good. I can trust you.
Shit, and Scotty's been a big help too. He was able to get everything in stereo
Scotty,
for us. Yeah.
There's a guy with a fucking ear.
Right.
Holy mother of God.
Scott is a monster.
That guy can play.
I can't wait till he's done with his fucking his money making schemes and get back on Monkey Island, Kent. I tell you, because there's a lot we just learned from him, and he got set up in stereo, so it's pretty good. Thank you for showing up again, Strange Guys. We miss you when you're gone,
Johnny boy.
Seems like you come back with seasons. But yeah, anybody going live after Recon? Are you going live? Viral Beats? I know you're lurking in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I think JRC just finished up.
Chrome's got something going. Blippity Bloop Theater. Is that?
Chrome. If you want to put the link up, to your blippity bleeps. I don't know if anybody else is doing anything tonight, but if they are, you guys know who they are. You can find them. I'm going to shut this down. The wife is waiting on me. We'll see you all tomorrow. And as I always say,
tend to your spouse.
I'll tend to the missus.
Good night.
Tend to the wabbits, George.
Tend to the wabbits.
Love, bye. Love, bye.
Where's that Westco loose? What the hell? That's better. Right
there
then.
you go. Later.
Gentlemen, good day to you.